What's up, you certified beauties? Nick here from Nick's Taxes, and today we're going to talk more about the CERB and that $5,000 net income. We're also going to take a look at the CRA tax form to calculate your self-employment taxes. So if you're someone who's a freelancer or self-employed in 2019, 2020, 2021, this video is for you. All right, so let's take a look to kind of backtrack a little bit. The CRA recently sent out almost 500,000 educational letters letting people know that they probably didn't actually qualify for the CERB. And in those letters, they're basically requesting that the payments get sent back to the CRA because they are not actually eligible to receive that CERB income. The main issue was that one of the criteria for the CERB was having at least $5,000 of self-employment income in 2019 or in the 12 months prior to applying for that CERB. And when the CERB first came out, it was unclear whether that $5,000 was gross or net income. And now the CRA has come out and said that the $5,000 is referred to net income and not gross. So those who applied thinking that it was gross income, or who were even told by the CRA that it was gross income, are now left with a repayment of the CERB. And however many CERBs you received, it could be up to $14,000 that you have to repay. The CRA even acknowledged that there was unclear communication, but there's no talks of any CERB repayment forgiveness at this point in time. Another thing that is messy regarding the CERB is that if you haven't repaid it, but you need to repay it, that's going to be taxable on your 2020 tax return. And then to get that money back, you're going to have to make that adjustment on your 2021 tax return. So that means we're going to be dealing with this going into 2022 when our 2021 taxes are actually due. So one of the options that people have talked about in terms of making yourself actually eligible is to do some kind of cost benefit analysis to actually amending your 2019 taxes to remove all of your expenses, so that way your gross income matches your net income. There's nothing in the Tax Act that says that you have to use expenses to lower your income. You don't have to claim any expenses. You're not forced to. You should, obviously, to lower your income and how much tax you're going to pay. But in this situation, it might be better not to claim any of your expenses. So we're going to take a look at the CRA tax form. And this is called the Statement of Business and Professional Activities. The form's called the T2125. And so this is the information here. If you're self-employed or if you're a freelancer or whatever, you're probably familiar with this form. And so you put all your information in here. And in today's video, we're just going to walk through the different expenses. So you should be able to identify whether you have business income or professional income. And then you're going to be able to put your gross sales or your gross fees up here in either 3A or 3H, and that's the total amount of income or revenue that you received from your self-employed business. And then you can factor in your GST if that was applicable for you here. And then you're also going to take a look at other deductions. And so over here in section 3D, if you have cost of goods sold, this is where you would do the calculation for your cost of goods sold. And then finally, you come down here to part 4, and this is where you're going to stick your 4A is going to be your gross business or professional income. Again, it just follows down from the line. And then here are your expenses that you're able to deduct to get to your net income down here on line 9369. So some things that you can expense are advertising, meals and entertainment, bad debts, insurance, interest and bank charges, business taxes, licenses and memberships, office expenses, office stationery and supplies, professional fees, which also includes accounting fees if you're hiring someone to do your taxes or manage your books, management and administration fees, rent, repairs and maintenance, salary, wages and benefits, property taxes, travel expenses, utilities, fuel costs, delivery, freight and expenses, motor vehicle expenses, and capital cost allowance, and any other expenses that may not fit in any of those categories. You would specify on line 4V. So these are all the expenses that you can take. And so for the CERB, once you factor in all of those, your net income needs to be above $5,000, right? So you would calculate down here, your line would flow down here. You would factor in GST, HST rebate, any business use of the home, and then down here, line 9446 is your net income or loss, which would be carried forward onto the tax return on line 13500, 13700, or 13900, depending on what kind of income you have, whether it's business, professional, or commission. And that's just based on your self-employed business that you run. So those are your expenses. If you go down the list here, you can take a look at how you can calculate the business use of your home if you have a home office. So this would be where you would insert that kind of information if you have a partnership. And then this here is your depreciation schedule. If you have a capital cost, such as a car that you're depreciating, or maybe it's a computer, something of that nature. And then down here, if you are indeed using a car, this is where you would insert all your vehicle information for the business use of that vehicle. And then obviously once that's calculated, then it flows back up into part 4, which is the expense section here in the motor vehicle expenses. So that's how you calculate your net income. Again, for the CERB, it had to be over 5,000, but going forward, I just wanted to make this video so that you guys are aware for 2020 taxes, the different expenses that are available to you guys to actually deduct off of your business income. And so obviously, the lower you can get your net income, the less amount of taxes you're going to have to pay on your small business income or your self-employed income or whatever it may be. So that's it. If you got value out of today's video, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. And please subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'm going to be making a lot more videos on how to file your taxes for 2020 in the upcoming months, as tax season is just around the corner. So you're going to want to subscribe and stay tuned to that. But appreciate all you guys. Appreciate the comments and the likes. And again, I will see you guys in the next video. I'm Nick. Happy taxing.